Welcome back to Success on Your Terms. And today I am taking the spotlight and I'm going to be sharing with you three mindset shifts that separate those who win from those who quit. And sometimes it's a question I've been asked before around when do you know when to quit? And I really was thinking about this earlier because what you find in certain periods of the year is behaviors change and people in business feel certain ways about their business dependent on what's happening, maybe even just month to month. So let's break it down a bit. We are just out of January. It's been a long January for many. It's cold, it's dark, people lack motivation. They start with this great momentum, they're really focused, kind of the world is their oyster type of attitude. And then after a few weeks, it feels that some things aren't working, and then everything starts to spiral and 10 times in their head. When in reality, 90% of the time, things are often working. They're not working as quick as you want them to. So it's about the patience pill. And this is so important because along with that, you need to have absolute focus, because if you don't, you will get that shiny object syndrome and you'll start thinking around, where else do I need to start investing? Where else is going to be the place where I get that magic bullet? But actually, all you end up doing then is splitting all of your time. And I'm a big believer in time is one of our most valuable currencies. We talk energy, time, and money. And I'm really going to be talking here and centering around the fact that you really need to get clear on where you're giving your time. So, have you ever had those weeks where you feel like everything's just piling up and that to-do list is never ending? You just find that energy that I was just mentioning about there becomes low, and you start then questioning, is this all worth it and why am I doing it? And I've been there too, I get it. But what's never stepped away from that for me, and the one thing that's really kept me focused, is the difference between who I surround myself with. Those people who really want to win and stay focused, and those who stay stuck. And it isn't down to luck and it isn't down to talent, what I'm going to share with you. It's these simple three things that if you shift them, they can be really powerful for how you think and show up, even when life gets messy. And I want to just give an example of what's going on in my personal life right now, because it will give you more context. I always believe that there's someone else who's got it worse than I have out there. And especially with certain things that are happening in the world right now, it can feel like it's a really challenging place to live. I'm currently in a space where I'm trying to move home. My flat is on the market. I'm doing some hormonal work. I'm looking at my hormones and fertility, which changes every single day with how my mood is. I'm often dependent on the weather as well. I'm also planning a wedding for me and my fiance, or we are, and I'm growing the business, offering. I've got my membership, my mastermind, and I have my one-to-one clients as well. I'm also a lead coach in my mentors program. So I have over 55 clients right now on my books, and therefore I have to be really clear on where I'm putting my time. And of course, I want to make more sales, right? And grow the business. So there's lots of things happening. And in my head, I want to do some PR. I want to do Facebook ads. I want to do some more sales training. And I have to just stay very focused. So that's where I want to just share right now that I understand it can feel a bit messy. So busy schedule, high workload, they instantly can be these things that just make us feel completely overwhelmed. But instead of pulling back, I lean into three non-negotiable lessons that absolutely keep me moving forward. Some people say like moving a needle, and I don't always like that phrase. But today I'm going to share with you how you can take these into your own week and make sure you're playing to win. Because you may not have had those sales you wanted in January, you may not have had the most successful month ever, but I'm telling you right now to stick in the game and stay focused. So lesson one is that consistency is underrated. This is not about staying constant. When things get busy, the first thing people do is drop themselves. They stop their sleep, they stop their health, and they stop their routines. And the truth is, the difference between those who grow and those who burn out is going to be centered on how much time they give themselves and how much time you give yourself as a priority. It isn't selfish to put yourself first. I think it's selfish not to, because you can only be the best for your clients when you are looking after yourself. And I know that if I've lacked sleep one night, If I'm feeling under the weather, I cannot show up the best I can be in my business. And I know that that has an impact on the energy and how I am. And people just sense it, right? So I really want you to dig deep on this. Success isn't about going all in for a week and then disappearing. You have to be consistent. It's about showing up even when it's really hard. And those are the times, if you can get through those tough times, which is sometimes why people will say, build a business when it's a really tricky time. And if you look over the years at all those businesses that have started in recessions or in challenging environments, it's been their hardest points. So anything from then seems easier. But I'll say that word lightly, easier. The challenge, where in your life or your business have you let inconsistency slow your progress? I really want you to dig deep on that. Less is more. Do less things better. So don't get that shiny object syndrome kicking in and thinking, I need that. That's going to solve it. Go all in on the things that you do really well and do them more. Go all in on the things that you absolutely love. It's impossible to sell something that you don't believe in. You just can't. And again, people sense it. So work out what you want to help people on, who you want to help, and go all in on it. Like really dig deep on this stuff. So that's about like consistency and rated. Coming on to lesson two, the power of seasons and who you surround yourself with. If like I could give one key to success, it would be that you have to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be and playing a bigger game. Business has its ups and downs. The people around you will make or break you. A few years back, I was having clients I was attracting and they were draining my energy. You know, the ones I mean, the ones where they're constantly in your inbox or they're constantly messaging you all hours in the day. Like I'm horrific at boundaries and I'm always telling people that, but these people just have zero boundaries. And what I started to notice is that I wasn't attracting them, for one, in terms of I had to go and do some ideal client work. But two, I really noticed then the difference about like I had to focus on who I surrounded myself with, and therefore who I was attracting, because it was draining my energy. And again, that's a currency. So if you surround yourself with people who don't get it the whole time, you will start doubting yourself. I have my parents who kind of get what I do. My fiance jokes that he never knows how to share what I do. They adore me for who I am and what I do with certain things, but they don't know the ins and outs. So there may be, although they are incredibly supportive, there may be that old comment that comes from a place of love or protection. My mum did it in November. I remember it about, well, like if cash flow's here, and do you ever think about then you might have to get a job and you wouldn't have that worry? And I said, no, like my worry is listening to more of that would be my worry, because I'll start doubting myself and I'm never good in that place, like all of us. So I adore my mum and I have to manage that relationship. That's why I really need people around me when it gets tough, when I have my mentors. I go for co-working days once a month with different groups of people in business, because it helps me just stay grounded in the fact that, yes, it's hard at times. It's not necessarily complicated, but who you choose to spend your time with, that will have a direct impact on the way you feel about your business right now. So spend your time with more people doing what you do. Get yourselves in communities. That's why in my mastermind I have a WhatsApp community. In my membership, I have a WhatsApp community. I am huge on making sure I surround myself with the right people, and likewise my clients do as well. So we've gone from consistency is underrated, the power of seasons, and who you surround yourself with, and finally for lesson three, the people who win are the ones who don't quit. The biggest lie is that successful people never struggle. It's one of those I'll often share when I talk around, like maybe I'm in a gym, and I often share around messaging being around health and fitness and relating that back to business. And I'll often share around the fact that I have mental health challenges too, but I manage them by being in a gym, by getting my headspace, by having time out, by downtime at the weekend. That's how I manage my mental health. And the difference here is that we keep moving forward. You and I, we don't quit, we move forward. Hard times are part of the game, they're there to test you. It should be hard. Anybody coming into a program I work in or into my mastermind, if it was easy, if they felt underwhelmed, I would not be doing my job and I would be doing them a disservice. It's going to be hard. And it should be, because the uncomfortable is your path to growth. So I'll say it again. When you are uncomfortable, this is your path to growth. Lean in, dig deep. Don't just go for the next quick thing or the next offer you see because you think, oh, that might solve that problem. Lean in, do the groundwork, dig deeper. The question is, will you let these times stop you or people stop you, or will you use those to be your gift, to be your amplification tool to say, no, I'm going to still go because I believe in this. And this is where I talk about, like, you need to have, I call it deluded belief often, but you need to have like utter belief in what you can achieve and that no one is going to stop you. And if it feels tough, then that's a sign that you're on the right track. So just keep going. So what's coming up this week for me? It's incredibly busy. Like I said, I'm working in a program. I have my mastermind where we've got business training this week, and we're focusing on how we get our messaging out through content and helping clients get content to be done quicker, because that will really help us again with the time currency. In the Business Insider membership, we've just hit the first Monday of a new month. We did a weekly check-in and we do a progress review, and we focused it on finances as well. Of which, if you want to know anything more about these two, just reach out and either say mastermind or membership, and I'll send you all the details. And I've been working very closely with one-to-one clients on getting really clear on their high ticket offers, the golden burgers. My high ticket golden burger is like the 15K 12-month one. So you have to have an offer like that on your menu as such, one where you then can add value to everything else under it. But, you know, if you never have it there and you never ask for this kind of money, you're never going to earn it, is what I always say. So that's what I'm really working with clients with in one-to-one, is their high ticket offers and just really refining those with them. If you want to work with me on any of those, like I said, just reach out. It doesn't have to be you've got all these keywords and I make it really complicated. Just say, hey, Nat, listen to the podcast. I found this really useful. And then I'll get back to you and we'll just have a conversation. And that's where great conversations go and we can build great businesses. But I challenge you this week. Where do you need to double down? When do you need to shift your mindset, and where? And where do you just need to keep going? No excuses. Let's just keep moving forward and let's do this together.